I'm Sue Smith, sitting in for Aaron. I'm going to be here for the next couple of weeks. And right at the opening of the show, we talked about pets and the fact that shelters are really overextended right now. And we're going to continue that conversation in this hour. And so I want to hear from you. Right now, though, we're going to hear from one of those Montreal shelters that is overextended. So lots of animal shelters are asking Montrealers to think about adopting a pet right now, because 20 days after moving day, lots of the shelters are at capacity. They've got more animals coming in every day. One animal shelter has waived adoption fees in the hopes of getting animals into permanent homes. Annie Kirouac is the executive director of Pro Anima. They've been around for a while, but they recently opened a new shelter in Montreal. She joins me on the line. Good afternoon. Oh, Annie, I don't have you yet. Good afternoon, Annie. Are you here?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi. So what's
Hi.
the situation at your shelter right now?
Well, it is sure the busy season right now, so we are receiving close to 50 animals in our 3 locations. One is in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, the other one in Boucherville, and you just mentioned our more recent one in Montreal. So it's busy, but
Sorry,
adoptions
when you say 50 animals, do you mean 50 animals a day or a week?
Yes, a day. Sorry, yeah, 50 animals per day currently on average. Yes.
And why so many? What are people telling you?
There's many reasons. We do know that and on the South Shore, we don't see moving being as much an issue, but obviously in a larger city like Montreal, people have a hard time finding places that allow animals, but there are so many reasons as to why people feel like the only last solution is to surrender animals, and that's why we're there for them when we cannot find another solution for them, because we do try to do so.
You mean if someone comes in, you try to convince them to keep their pet?
Well, ideally, we ask people to call us ahead of time to contact us, because once you had to make that decision and you're with your animal inside the shelter, then it's harder to go back. So that's why, because even though you might not think that there is another solution, our team often makes little miracles and can give them advice, give them resources, temporary boarding for their animals if it's just something they're going through that's going to last a few weeks. So please contact us.
But I'm guessing a lot of animals come in without their owners, just abandoned or injured. Or
Yes, for sure that does happen. Lost. We ask that people identify their animals. We won't say it enough, because if the animals are identified, ideally microchipped with the proper information on the microchip, then in 100% of the cases we'll find the owner. But if they're not, then we have to wait until they contact us, and unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't happen.
But just to get back to moving day for a second, because I know this is a perennial problem, that continues to be a problem in Montreal. I mean, are you hearing that people that they just can't bring their animals into the next place?
Yeah, it for sure it is still an issue. But it's not the only issue. We see reasons as to why people surrender. It's easy to judge, but I'll tell you at Pro Anima, our team doesn't judge, because every day we see people crying. We see people having... It's a difficult decision in the most cases. It's very rare that somebody is happy about surrendering their animal, I'll tell you.
So let's talk about the other. I noticed on your website you're very okay, now it's time to concentrate on adoption and not sort of abandonment. So what are you trying to do to convince people to adopt?
Well, that's what we do at Pro Anima. We find solutions. So at one point in the last few weeks, we had so many animals coming in that we were starting to think it was going to be an issue. We didn't want to be too full that we couldn't take care of emergencies when they came in. So we waived the adoption fee for people to come in and adopt and get to know us, too, because we're new in Montreal. So a lot of people didn't know we were on P9 and didn't know where to find us. And I'll tell you, we had a record adoption weekend this weekend. We're still trying to look at the numbers, but it was just really, really busy. People had to wait a few hours sometimes to find their perfect pet, but I think a lot of people did, and we're very thankful for that.
So how does it work if someone's thinking of adopting and they come into your shelter? What is the process? Because we're talking about pets, and I guess we're thinking about cats and dogs, but I notice on your website there are parrots and rabbits and all different kinds of
Yes,
pets.
all sorts of animals. Lots of rabbits as well. We had a ferret this weekend.
Oh, wow.
So birds too. We just ask people to come and visit us. Even if it's just to look at the animals, we try to make it a place. We all love animals, so we'll be there to chat with you if that's all you need, advice. And then obviously if you want to adopt, we'll be there to give you advice. You know, we tell the truth. Like we say how long the animal's going to probably live on average, how much it's going to cost. One thing our vets always say, you know, it's like a human being. One day it will get sick. You need to make sure you have money aside for that, or at least an insurance to plan it. So, because we do hope that it's a forever match.
And so on that, I mean, it's one thing to sort of give people advice, but I'm wondering what kind of vetting process you do for people who want to come in and take away a dog or a cat or a ferret for that matter. How do you decide if they're going to be good, parents?
Well, you know, I think it's a conversation, because whether someone wants an animal or not, if they come into the shelter or they go on any kind of social media or even on the street, they're going to get one. So we'd rather them come into the shelter with our team. We do know, we do have the knowledge, we do have the advice and the information to provide. So we're obviously, if someone has restricted mobility, we're not going to suggest that they adopt a high energy dog that needs a lot of exercise. The dog's not going to be happy and get what he needs, and then the pet parent is also going to have a miserable life because the dog's going to destroy its place eventually. So we want to make sure that it's a perfect match, like I said, a forever home. So we have that conversation with the person, and we make sure that we find the animal that suits their needs. Because
we've opened up the phone lines in the last hour, and we're going to open them up again after this conversation. But we had a lot of people, a couple of people, saying that they had been refused. It was a couple of years ago, I think. But one woman said she really wanted a dog, and she went to a shelter, and they had a lab mix. And when they found out that she lived in a condo, they said she couldn't have the dog, even though she said she would walk it, 4 times a day. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think in our industry, people mean well. We're all animal lovers. So, but to your point, and to this lady's point, I don't think living in a condo or not having a backyard makes you a bad owner, a bad dog owner. I mean, a bad dog parent, I should say. A great example is our president and founder. She's had many dogs. Obviously, she loves animals, and she doesn't have a backyard, but she walks several times a day, and she's been rescuing dogs forever. So, no, we don't judge. We just have that conversation to make sure that it's going to be a great match. And like I said, for both, for the animal, but also for the person.
And you mentioned you're new in Montreal. People aren't that familiar with you, but you do collaborate with the SPCA, I noticed on your website.
Yes, of course. We've been collaborating with the SPCA for many, many years, and we'll continue to do so.
They're also seeing an uptick, I understand, lots and lots of animals coming in as well.
Of course, all shelters across the province, and I would say across North America at this time of the year, are seeing the increase.
What do you say to people who want to go to a breeder and get a purebred dog or, a non-allergenic or that kind of thing?
I'm probably not the best person. I'm sure biased on this one.
Well, let me hear your bias.
But I do think that people need to know that in shelters, dogs or animals in general are not broken. They don't necessarily have anything wrong with them. Often what happens is a life situation, right? Like the animal didn't do anything wrong, wasn't necessarily dangerous or sick. It's just that the owner wasn't able to take care of the animal anymore. And sometimes it's just the last proof of love that they will do towards the animal to have to surrender it. Yeah. So please give shelters a chance and come and visit us and see the beautiful animals that we have that need just love and a forever home.
Okay. So that's your message to Montrealers.
Yes, it is. Please come and see us.
Okay. Thanks so much and good luck, Annie.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
Or the free iHeartRadio app.